How difficult was it? And really, how difficult was it to go from someone who has an influencer status? A lot of the time, general public might judge and say, oh, all you guys do is travel around and take pictures.
Yeah.
Right? To a businesswoman, an entrepreneur, a founder who actually has a lot of serious shit to do.
Oh, that is for real.
Yeah.
Like spreadsheets. Never saw a spreadsheet before I started this brand, let me tell you. And I hope to never see one again, but that's not going to happen.
I doubt that.
I think I had a lot of experience, obviously, in the beauty industry. I've worked with so many amazing brands. I've had amazing opportunities to be on sets, to be in marketing meetings and be in strategy meetings and product development things and all of that stuff. So I felt like I was in a good position to do it. I was going to say what I've never done is run a company, but I guess I have, but it's just been my own personal brand and my own creative stuff. It is
company when you're running your own personal partnerships.
Yes.
And all the projects.
But I had an agent, well, I still have an agent, and they deal with all that, you know? So this is very different. I've worked by myself for my entire life, and now I have a small team. I didn't know how to delegate. I didn't know how to manage other people's time. I would go into work and they'd say, what should we do today? And I would say, don't you have something to do? Like, I just didn't know how to manage people. Yeah. So that was the hardest thing by far of this whole thing for me, because I've never worked in a team.
How do you think you've improved that skill or a lack of a skill from not really knowing to now running a team?
Well, talk to people. And this is my advice for so many things. I think sometimes you feel like, oh, I don't want to bother that person or whatever, but I would just go to people who had teams and I knew they managed people, and I would say, how do you do this? And you would pick up little tips. Like my friend Dom was like, I have a meeting every Monday, just 30 minutes, make sure everything's going well. And then I also have a 15-minute meeting with each person individually on Wednesday, whatever. And you can kind of pick and choose what works for you.
What suits you.
Mm-hmm. So that was the first thing. But besides all of that stuff, actually setting up this company, ooh, lordy, legal stuff, trademarking, packaging. Packaging is the worst part. Okay. Distribution, trying to get into these retail doors.
Yeah.
You know, it's not easy. And of course, I feel like I've had a leg up just because of my past career.
And I was gonna say, a lot of people might go, well, you know, like you had those partnerships already.
Yeah.
We're like seeing so many influencer-led brands launching, especially in consumer goods, in like bodycare, makeup, so many of it. But actually they don't realize that it is also a shift for those providers and suppliers or buyers in terms of how you view you
and how we interact. Yeah, exactly. I think switching to your original question, switching from being like the talent, I guess sometimes, to being the one that's nagging them to help me in a way, even though we're helping each other. Yeah. It's just a completely different relationship. And also it's kind of complicated because I'm both. So I have to be, you know, really particular about my relationships and how I manage them. But it has had so many benefits, you know, working in the industry and having all of these contacts. But on another side, I think a lot of people are a bit more dubious, you know, is this really a good product? Is it just another influencer brand? Does this have longevity? Is it just kind of going to be a flash in the pan? You know, all of that sort of thing. But it's been really important to me to set up Mirror Water, you know, as its own entity. You'll notice that my face isn't all over the packaging. And
I have noticed that.
Yeah, so I really wanted it to live its own life and for people to be able to discover it that don't know or care about my story.